Hello, everyone. I am SmashMania,
And I am SynStarr.
and we are doing a special commentary over Dubspace. We are doing this for a multitude of reasons. Partially because, well, mostly because we finally reached 10,000 views on this thing, which, Jesus fucking Christ, goddamn. But it's also because we recently reached 150 subs, which it's like a decent number to do a special on. Then also Dubspace itself turned 2 years old this month. So what those three things, what better to do than make a special commentary between me and Sin here. We both worked on the editing as well as helping with the overall we did a lot of scheduling help. Both of us did a bunch of voices in this. Yeah, it's mainly all I have for introductions out of the way.
Yeah, so I guess to kick things off, I would like to say that this first scene, just right off the bat, I would say was actually probably one of the harder scenes to edit because a couple reasons. There was some characters who had two sets of lines that said two separate things, and I had to sync them up in a different way than normal because of do I use this line or this line?
Yeah.
It's kind of difficult in that respect.
It was that, and also I think if I remember correctly, I think Chris, he was doing the announcer, the stadium announcer here. I believe he did it separately from everyone else. None of it was scripted. All of it, both parts were improv, but Chris was just okay, I'm just gonna watch what happens and then just comment on this.
Yeah. You added that in your when you did the editing. I did the first round of editing, and then SmashMania did the second round of editing with the sound effects and such.
Basically, Sin synced the voices and made them quieter or louder, just bounced them, and then I put in the music and sound effects.
Yeah. So we did keep the idea of having the Rob saying rib. Because it was just fun. Honestly, a lot of the jokes can be just attributed to we thought it was funny in the moment and it kind of stuck. The only joke that we did scrap in terms of
post
mooks were the Primids. The Primids were originally going to say something along the lines of "Bro, can I hit that?" And that was scrapped because it sounded too robotic compared to the actual robots. Robs.
Yeah, I was gonna say obviously the Robs were done in post. They were applied done afterwards. And there's the Vine sound effect. I don't know why I put that in there.
I don't know either.
I was like, that's funny.
I didn't notice it at first when I first saw this.
And the thing is, it was that, and also we previewed this chapter in a Dubspace Direct that we did a few days before the video went live, and. And I remember we had some of the members in the Discord, some of the other newcomers members watching the direct live, and then I think it was Oofy's. She heard that and then she was like, "Was that the Instagram comedian sound effect?" I'm like, "Yes, I did that. I don't know why I did that."
So yeah, something that some commenters have brought up, and we have brought up to each other actually before we even got to the recording process, was that. Peach is not the one who's captured. It was Zelda by Wario.
Yeah.
And continuity-wise, that's not correct with the rest of the video.
Yeah.
Technically, Peach was supposed to get captured, and Kirby was supposed to escape with Zelda.
Yeah, Zelda.
But for whatever reason, the footage was stitched together in such a way that it didn't occur like that.
I'm still proud of this intro, because it uses Pac-Man Championship Edition 2 music. I was
that's where that's from.
Yeah. I somehow did a decent job syncing it up, even though I was terrible with audio, like mashups and stuff like that. And the chapter names, I was honestly somewhat I still like them because I think I was playing Mortal Kombat 11 at the time. I was like, hey, I want to put chapter names at these.
Huh. I never really thought of it like that. That's actually good thought process.
Also, it took me so long to realize that it was referred to as the upvote button because it shoots blue arrows. I felt like the biggest fucking idiot when I found out about that years later.
Yeah, it's also funny because like the whole you're gonna see a reoccurring joke. One of them being Reddit, just in
Reddit.
general.
Just in
Reddit, like
general.
a lot of upvote, downvote jokes in this particular dub. I actually think all things considered, Yap Alonso did a really good job as
Yeah.
Pit.
Yeah, he did a really good job. Yeah. I think he mentioned he was working on like a Spanish dub of Kid Icarus Uprising where he was playing Pit, and yeah, that's a really good choice.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where the joke with Caramel Dancing came in.
Yeah, I
just
don't know
sort of
either.
happened.
It's been so long. It's just been like just our thing now. Just
Yeah,
to have Caramel dancing in the background, like literally, even in our most recent like dub, which is the second episode of Donkey Kong Country, we have like supposedly the halberd floating by in the background at the beginning of the episode, and you can hear Caramel dancing in the background.
Oh, yeah.
And they're just looking at nothing, but you can't really see it. So it's just.
Yeah,
it's just like it's one of those things where it's like, why did we put this in?
Yeah, it's like, why is this here? But also, we could just say it's a prequel. So
It could be a prequel. Yeah, that's
yeah,
it.
it's the
Can't remember who I can't remember who joined first. It was either Marigio or Yap Alonso who joined, but one brought the other. I think it was like Yap brought Marigio because he had a really good Mario voice, and so we stuck with him. And I'm
honestly,
really glad with that decision. His Mario is phenomenal in this.
It's really good. And Luigi, yeah.
Oh yeah, that too. Yeah, he has a really good Mario character voices.
It's a good summation of how Luigi is treated, and Mario's like, oh yeah, Luigi too.
And Luigi.
I'm surprised I was good with like putting like the whoosh sound effects for like the planes and stuff.
Yeah, I think he did a pretty good job with that.
Because in reflection, like there's some like parts of the audio editing that I was like, you're really allowed this to happen. Like, I forgot.
Never get tired of the bonk sound effect.
Yeah, I'd never get tired of it. I think I put it in the. Oh no, never mind. For those watching, there'll be like an Ace Attorney dub that'll be up in a couple days. Oops, I spoiled it.
Oh no.
Yeah. Oh no. I think there's a part in that where I was planning to include the bonk sound effects, but I never included it.
Ah.
I don't know why. I was like, I don't know, I'm not feeling this one.
Oh boy. Speaking of chapters that really stuck out to me.
Yeah.
This is probably the let's start off with something simple. We didn't have It's Just Chris as Donkey Kong for the longest time until towards the very end of production.
Yeah, it was towards the very end.
He fits so well.
Yeah, it was like he fits so well, and how like far he goes in the not fitting well the category. It's like it wraps back around. It's like programming underflow. He fits so little that he fits really well.
Yeah.
And Diddy Kong just...
I'll be honest, we had no jokes for Donkey Kong up until we got Chris on board.
And then Chris happened, and then there were two jokes right out the gate.
And it was like Joe Swanson from Family Guy and JoJo's Bizarre Adventure.
And also he's Islamic.
Yeah.
And Peck unironically fits well as Diddy Kong. And the cutoff. And then
here comes the edit that I didn't actually make.
Yeah. I just like it was one of the very rare cases. Wait. Yeah, here's that was like a rare case where I had to like alter stuff because like it was one of the rare cases where we had to stop it because of a certain joke, and it was like I'm just gonna like condense it.
Yeah, honestly, the original line had something. I think it was like. I don't know. I kind of just like was trying to when I was voicing that character. It kind of like got a little difficult to think of things to say, and so I was just like, "I am Jesus Christ" or something like that. It got a little. Meanwhile, I love this scene where you're like, "This landscape is fertile."
This landscape. I
really
forgot
funny.
about that one. I was gonna. I honestly don't entirely remember why I did like the inspector, like the Dr. Claw Inspector Gadget thing. Although it really fits, I was like, I'll just do like a mysterious.
It's kind of amazing how well Yop and Marigio work together.
Yes.
It's also I guess it makes sense because they're friends in real life, but it's like one of those things where
it's also
they just work really well.
It was also a thing where it was in the Dubspace Discord with like it's semi-private.
I couldn't really tell like where the song came from, but for some reason we were like, why. Hey, what if we just made Rayquaza a 15-year-old rapper on SoundCloud?
I don't know why.
It's just like, oh, okay.
I was gonna.
That kind of works.
Yeah, but
and you know what? Honestly, I don't have any doubts anymore because it turned out really well.
Yeah, I was gonna say that for what was it in the Dubspace Discord, which has like a bunch of like it's not public, but like has a bunch of members in it, and originally we actually showed chapters 1 through 3. There's like this one video where it's just chapters 1 through 3 because like that's all that was done at the time, and I remember that it was like I remember that I originally spelled Oofy's name wrong, and I was like, oops.
In like the watching title card?
Yeah, Oofies, if you're watching this, I'm sorry.
Alright, but we're about to go to Mecca anyway. I'm about to teach you the history. It first started off... we did it.
Little thing I like to note is the little thud sound effect when Diddy hits him.
Yeah,
I don't know why I like that. That really I like that attention to detail.
Yeah, I don't remember if I like unmuted. No, I think I put my own like audio in there. Yeah, I put my own audio there because like the thing about this dub is that it's the subspace footage is ran at 75% speed because that would allow enough time for people to talk. So I just had to put it with one exception towards the towards the middle. I put in my own sound effects to like substitute for it so it doesn't sound like awkward and stretched.
Yeah. So we have that Turbo, I believe, as Lucas. Haven't really a lot of people after the production of Dubspace, like after we finished, they kind of we didn't all go our separate ways, but like some of them kind of like we all had to go. Some people wanted to go and move on to other things and stuff. Some stayed with the newcomers. A lot of moving around in terms of where people went.
It's because Dubspace came before the newcomers, so it's kind of like the thing. It's like either you could just join the newcomers, or you could just you could just stick with this and it's fine.
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not what I wanted.
Oh no.
Yeah, I'll be honest. I wasn't quite sure what the joke was with Porky, and we didn't have enough time to practice in the months prior to really get a joke set down firm for Porky. So we just I just kind of went with, you know what? How about I just make him Rick Sanchez?
Yeah, Rick Sanchez. And that's I hate the fact they said that and the effect was green. Like I'm not a fan of that.
Well, that's why I said it.
I know. I just upset by that. Who's Morty? I forgot about that line.
Mm-hmm. Wow, you really killed him, didn't you?
I was also gonna say that I almost forgot the for anyone that's watching, basically our process is that like obviously we don't have like a script. We basically just have like practice ones where we basically just like watch it and just like throw out any like sort of jokes, like any sort of concepts that we can like run with in the full dub. And it's like it's mostly just to like get our bearings on like what happens in the episode, so we could just like or at least not like have it memorized, but like at least know what's happening.
Yeah. And then we just have I think after, it depends on how long the dub is typically. If it's something like an hour long, then we're going to have to do what we did with Dubspace, which was we had to like split it up and like spend like look it over and decide what jokes we wanted to do for like, I don't know, at least a few months. Yeah. Like maybe not in the future. We're probably not going to do longer dubs the same way we did Dubspace.
Yeah, it's in that we did. Like
we spent a good 4 months.
Yeah, it was 4 months on this. Like for casting, I think most of the time was spent on casting and editing. To be fair, but but there was still like a decent amount of time to like get our bearings on. Like, I was the one who I was the one who like went through the entirety of Subspace and then was like marked like this would make a good chapter, this would make a good chapter like 25 times. And I basically had to rattle off like, hey, this is chapter 1, this is chapter 2, and then like the recording process was like there were so many like times where like you would have like one chapter on one day and then like 5 the next day.
I don't even know if it was even that, because like we had I think we spent 3 separate days recording and each day we spent 2 hours, and in each hour we scheduled it for 30-minute intervals, doing one scene and then the next scene and then another scene, and then I would be recording for someone else's scene because they couldn't, or like I'd be recording their lines, like just I mute everybody. Yeah. And then I would have to record that person's specific lines because they had no way of using something like Audacity, because they were we were kind of they didn't have like the recording equipment necessary, so they had they were like either on their phone or like, and it sounds unprofessional, but like in the end, if I recorded it from the Discord call, then it would come out a bit better. Yeah. But it would ultimately be me jumping around from
just like
group DM to group DM.
And it was the funny story you mentioned, like funny thing that you mentioned that, because like this is the best time you mentioned that, because you hear how my voice lines are clear in this chapter, but originally, like the way I record, like literally the way I recorded almost everything on the channel was that I would literally just like grab I'll grab my laptop and my microphone, bring it into my car, set a hotspot up on my phone, and then connect my PC to my laptop to the internet while I'm in the car. Problem was, it was hot as fuck. It was the middle of like it was like the middle of like I think June, or like it was like late May, early June, and it was extremely hot, and I was in my car for like a good couple hours with no air conditioning because that would get in the way of recording, and I think my PC overheated, and I think it ran out of battery, so the only way I had to do it was like was using my phone. It was using my phone, and because of that, I actually went home and tried my damnedest to recreate my exact inflection through my actual mic. And it was like, it wasn't that pain of an ass. It just like,
I remember in particular this yell cry that you do when you get hit. Right here is a completely different take from what we originally had.
Yeah. The way of Aiden is Ike. I don't know why. Oh yeah, it took me a while to figure out why he just says pizza all the time.
I think the joke was that he's a pizza delivery driver.
Yeah, I thought it was because like it was like ether, like sounds like semi similar to pizza.
So is this the scene you were talking about where they had to do it at full speed?
Oh no, I think it was like, oh no, it was the no, all of it was like still 75% speed, but I think the like the sound effects when like Meta Knight and Marth were fighting, where they clashed together, that was the part where I like unmute it, because like it was such a specific set of sound effects, I kind of had to keep it in, even if it sounds somewhat stretched.
Thought I told y'all to get off of my golf course.
And then we have Ender Emerald as DDD. I'm really proud of that music transition. I'm really proud of it.
I am too. I think you did a really good job with that. I also like this little sound effect. Slide whistle. Because he just disappears into the sky.
I just keep forgetting half the things I edit in a sound effects. I'm like, oh.
So yeah, a lot of people were like, "Hey, wait a minute! Didn't he capture Zelda? Why is Peach there?" And that's the thing.
A wizard did it.
Our original producer, when Vivo, Doggy Vivo, when he made the recording, like the original like video, like sample video for
it was like a mix of the
for us to dub over. He made that mistake, and it kind of like made things a bit confusing, but we kind of just ran with it. It still kind of works for the most part.
It still works. Yeah, like I said, half the time I forgot what sound effects I put in. I also like dancing all night.
That was a clever chapter name, but the thing was, so Swiggandy is voicing Link here, and he actually did all the like I think all this was actually not improvised. Like it was sort of improvised, but at the same time he did a lot of the stuff like talking to himself. Like he voices Navi also.
Yeah. Okay.
So he kind of like scripted this scene himself, and then I just added it in afterwards. But the Yoshi lines here that I voice are more or less improvised.
So then I said to the princess, why don't you just enlist more guards to help you out with it instead of having me doing it all the time, you bitch?
I can't quite remember if it was improvised or not for Link because of the how the Navi robotic voice sounded.
I mean, I imagine that it was just like wasn't it like did he say everything like at the same time? And then like you just like took like the specific like portion and then put like a robotic filter over it? I thought that's what happened.
He said his own lines and then he like pre-recorded it for Navi. And then this wonderful scene that Mike the Flagirian, also known as Sicario the Storm, provided for me. I was thinking to myself, honestly, in all seriousness, he gave me several different lines to work with. And I heard that line. I was like, Mike, we can't put that in the video. But then after a while, I kind of warmed up to the idea. I was like, maybe we could. So we have Snake in a box doing unspeakable things.
Yeah,
with presumably his phone or codec.
Yeah. Oh, is it? Oh, I didn't know that. I forgot that was Chris that was doing that.
Yeah, Chris voices the robot doing the electrostimulation, and then we have Ignacientia. I think that's how you say their name. Doing the voice of Samus here.
Ignis did a great job overall. I know that he was originally set to play Nana, but I think that like what we ended up doing like later on with Kerbal was definitely a better option.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, but we'll see that later.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting. I'm gonna say I keep forgetting this entire fucking dub, this entire fucking commentary. I keep forgetting about the Coles thing. Like, so many bits. He have to go. I made it that because I thought that line from Upper Lip was golden.
It was good.
Yeah, it was really good. Your taint stink.
I did this all for you, brother. I'm so glad you're alive. Oh, he was a shadow clone this whole time. God damn it.
Yeah, they got the purple stuff from the Sunny D commercial coming over the...
Suck my pick, Mario.
I would say a different purple stuff type of thing, but I'm like, I don't want to date this commentary by a couple of years if people watch this 5 years from now, like, oh shoot, they're talking about that. That still gets me to this day. The reverb fart sound effect. That still gets me every single time I watch this.
Yeah. And then there's that one.
Oh my god. The amount of times in the Newcomers Discord where people are like, dude, say the funny Yoshi line. Dude. And like, I only said it once in Dubspace.
Only once, like less than a third of the way through.
Yeah, and like, but the first time I ever said it, it stuck with everyone's mind. Yeah. They were just like, yo, Yoshi hates women. It's funny. I'm like, is it though? I mean, it is, but...
Hey, that's my wife.
I bet you'll love it. I'll show it to you again. And take these statues.
I was thinking about, when I had to edit all the sound effects in, that there would be some times where... For some reason, my video editor, like my not video editing program, I'm the editor. the program, like for some reason, mute a certain layer, and it took me a couple. Like I wasn't fully accustomed to the video editing program that I was using at the time, so I had no idea that was like the program's fault. But for some reason, like it would just mute an entire layer of audio. I'm like, why is it not playing?
Oh yeah. I've seen that problem happen before. I wish I knew how to fix it, but I don't really use. I don't think I use what you use.
No, I know how to fix it.
Different software.
I've since been able to fix it, but just like there's like a button that literally just says M on it, and I unclick it, and I was like, oh, okay, it's good.
When I have the spare time, you dipshit. Please give it an upvote. It is already done.
We have Hamburger Steak playing Ganondorf, and I gotta say, him being like the meme character, or like he's like he like just makes meme references, is just like really old meme references too. It's just
you almost
I
said,
don't know why it works, but it works.
you almost said the memer, and all I could think about was that fucking Wendy's commercial, like eat spicy
The
goodness.
meme,
Like a boss.
yeah, the meme.
Bros. I'll never let you solve FNAF.
Oh yeah, this is the one where Lucas's
yeah.
balls drop.
Yeah, because like I guess that Kerbal was not available at the time, so he just had Hamburger Steak fill in, and then like the next like chapter that features him was like, oh okay, his balls undrop.
I miss him.
Yeah. That's the reasoning for the chapter name,
titles,
and
yeah.
also why. Well, the thing was that Kerbal wasn't available, but also it also kind of works because like when he does something heroic in this scene, which is just actually confronting Wario, it kind of works as him like having his balls drop and then coming back to normal.
And then coming back
like
to
later
normal.
on.
First things to know, though, I must adorn you with me.
So okay, here's my question, and
Yes.
this has nothing to do with Dubspace itself, but like
Yeah.
if DDD's plan was to get all these trophies and have them on a timer, so in case something happened with the subspace bombs, why did he only have 3 badges if he were trying at this point in time? He was hoping to have 5 trophies, including himself. No, not including himself.
Yeah,
It's just funny to me.
I don't know why.
Also,
Taco Bell.
everybody wanted to do the Taco Bell sound effect. They were like, dude, we gotta do that
gotta
when
do
we were
that.
during the production of that. It was
Yeah,
so
and
fun.
it was
No, I just
it was that, and also I was gonna joke about how like he doesn't have enough buttons because like he's literally in the middle of nowhere. He doesn't have like a distribution company. He just sells them on Etsy.
Look at this. What's that crack on the wall?
Go investigate.
Go Power Rangers!
I like the bit where DDD's still in the.
Yeah, Ender insisted that I get his voice in there, and I was like, you know what? It makes sense because like he's under the rocks. So
Yeah, I think everyone was in like the same chat, and it made sense because I think Ender was still in the chat, whether or not he would have voiced by that part.
What armor?
Oh well, he's dead.
And we'll never see him again.
I should have cut it right there and then do like a fake credit sequence. But that's not an idea I originally had, but I just thought, in retrospect, that would have been funny.
and we'll never see him again. Da, 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 da.
What?
Also, this was I love the running joke where Mario just calls everyone the wrong name, like their
Yeah.
series name, basically.
Like this.
That bomb wasn't ordered for detonation. I'm right here.
I believe this was all you.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like it wasn't like a separate thing. It was still in the middle of the.
That castle.
It was still in the middle of like the actual recording for the other parts. And the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme. I think I just put it in there because like the whole gag was like, no, don't put the bomb off.
My son. I told you not to FaceTime me when binge watching Big Time Rock.
I don't know why I chose Big Time Rush. I just thought it was funny because I think there was a meme going around with that show's theme song becoming a meme.
Yeah. At the time, I think it was, and then he just follows it up with Cory in the House is the better anime. It was like,
Yeah.
God damn.
Goddamn. It's like 2016 flashing in my eyes.
Give me that furry wife now.
This is one of the weirdest lines from Lucas.
Yo, that was easily the biggest
I don't know why he calls it a lobster, but it was fitting. Okay, I need some explanation on this. Why Jeffrey Epstein?
I don't know.
What? So, like, throughout this entire scene, there's like this joke that the purple guy slash the like, you know, if you guys know anything about Five Nights at Freddy's, you know that there's some sort of like, I don't know the lore exactly. All I know is that there was some guy who like was a
Murdered
killer,
a bunch of children.
and I thought for the longest time I thought his name was Jeffrey Epstein because of his dub.
Where's my sword?
And I seriously thought, I was like, oh, I didn't know Jeffrey Epstein was a real person. So it was just like, it was just really awkward after that.
Yeah, those are
No, it's the man behind the slow
yeah,
tap.
that's the.
I'm the man behind the slaughter. Look at my big hand.
I fight for my friends.
And if we go back just a bit, there was a part where like Marth says, "Where's my sword?"
Yeah, where's my sword?
That was a bit of a stupid. That was kind of a brain fart moment on my part because I didn't notice he had the sword in his scabbard. So I just thought he would always have it in his hand, but he didn't. So I just assumed he didn't have the sword anymore. All of Upper Lip's lines in this scene are actually re-recorded because the original lines were really like grainy for some reason. So
Yeah, so-
thankfully, got a really good retake here.
Yeah, it's like what I said for my stuff at the it was still improv. It was still improv, but like all the other like lines that were like recorded to match the inflection.
Fun fact.
Mhm.
Fun fact, Epstein. Purple is actually the gayest color.
Should we mention the? Should
Yeah,
we mention the whole reason why we released
Delayed
it
it,
in July
like-
and not June?
Like
Or
there's like there are actually two reasons. Like the first one was that scene. I was kind of like I was nervous about like having like a. Actually, there's three reasons, but like the first one was like that sound effect keeps distracting me. It was because the first one was like I was somewhat unsure about having like a gay joke on Pride Month, but the second was that if we do it in like the first day of Q3, it would be like the first day of Q3, which was the original targeted release date, so I could be very cheeky with that. And also the third reason was because it was originally on June 29th, and it was after I set it to June 29th that it was revealed that Min Min was set to be a playable character in Smash Brothers on that date. So I was like,
Oh,
I'm
really?
just gonna, yeah, that was the third reason. I think that was like the third reason. Like that reason was the thing that like set it over as to why I delayed it. And then the delay. We used the time during the delay to make like a Dubspace Direct, which is viewable on this channel.
Mhm.
Terrible shot, Chris.
What's the deal with you Power Rangers?
I completely forgot that like if we released it during the time Min Min was announced, then we would have had an issue of like, oh no, we wouldn't have gotten nearly as much traction for the video itself if it was released during something very popular at the time, which was of course a DLC reveal for Smash Ultimate.
And
Also this sound effect.
It's just like it was. It's also primarily because, like, I know there's like sort of like a algorithmic synergy to that, where like Smash Brothers is popular right now. You just capitalize on that, but I wanted to do it like either slightly before or slightly after she released, because that would be like it would take advantage of it without being like on the same day to like avoid having it take away from the amount of stuff that this video would get.
The bomb's about to go.
Yeah.
I still love that gag of me just like putting like the bass boosted like the first quarter second of the bass boosted sound effect explosion.
Mm-hmm. Something interesting about this particular scene, this chapter really, is that I remember we had like several discussions about whether or not to censor what Bowser says here, and like I was of the opinion that like if we're going to have a villain be saying all this stuff, we might as well go 100% with it. Just not to the point where it makes people uncomfortable. I don't think. As long as that was my thought process, and I thought it still worked for the scene.
Yeah, because he is a villain, which like does sort of like do it, but like originally, for context, there's like in the original video, there's like a blip. Yeah, there's like a blip of like where it's just music. All the voices were cut out, and it was Bowser originally saying, like of course you're Jewish. Look at that snout. And that was the sole thing we sort of not removed but like covered up, because we thought it was like I don't know if that's like maybe.
No, don't get me wrong. It was definitely like offensive, but that was like I thought that was kind of the point of Bowser's character, is that he is an offensive like asshole, and so like I mean like he would just make these accusations based on nothing. That made no sense, and then the characters would call him out on it, and it would be like funny in that regard. But like,
it was also like It was also sorry. It's a separate topic. I don't know why I said and also. When I did Falco, I literally just did like a slightly like grungier version of my normal speaking voice, and I just like I was when I said semen smearing shithead, I was like I almost messed it up because I was trying to think of like an insult, and like that was the first thing that popped up, and it was like because like the alliteration I almost fucked it up because like I was like okay insult semen.
I think it turned out really great. It was just the inflection was really funny. Also, just like I loved that I got a chance to cut off Fox's like rant here. Like mid sentence, he just gets cut off because he's like, I think, and then he just stops.
I think some of the best jokes result from the fact that we have to cut some of the lines mid sentence to account for the fact that it's the original cutscenes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it's more. I think at this point, I just accept that these are Cole's employees and not Dark Sami.
Yeah.
Or Samus's. I don't fucking know what the plural for Samus is.
Yeah, we could
but like, that's such a knockoff Dark Samus. I hate the design.
It's just like it's just hey, here's purple.
You can't steal it. It's 20% off. We can just pay for it.
Fuck pay.
You set off the alarms in the Coles. Now they're gonna come.
Coles don't deserve my
Honestly, part of me really thinks that once the character Samus got her suit back, Ignis's like performance for some reason like boosted up like tremendously for me at least. It was like, oh my god, this is so funny.
It was like Coles does not deserve my money.
So I don't know why we did this joke, but Ridley is basically reciting a like rant from some site, which is like a copy pasta about how golf doesn't make sense as a sport.
Oh, okay. I thought he was just like rambling on. Like I knew the bit was gonna be like he hates golf for some reason, but I thought like it was like entirely like improvised.
Yeah. But I mean, I guess it just fit in line with the theme of golf in this this weird story, because like we have DDD who's trying to build a golf course, and then we have Ridley, and unfortunately neither of those two characters interact with each other.
Yeah,
so it just kind of
that makes it funnier.
Oh, it doesn't. It's kind of a missed opportunity, but whatever.
No, I think that makes it funnier that like we have two characters that have the exact same joke, but neither of them meet or interact.
Yeah. What is this? What is Olimar's character based on? I feel it's a YouTuber or something, right?
It's Chills. It's like number 15.
Yeah, Chills. A user from 4chan posted. Yeah, we have a lot of jokes where they just cut each other off, cut themselves off. I mean, standing on a robot.
Like he did pause for that, but like I made it like cut it off exactly.
Mm-hmm. And we have
like the Fligarian.
Mike, once again voicing Captain Falcon here.
Yeah.
And just another continuing joke, PK Fire. Literally everyone says PK Fire for their attack.
Yeah, it's just like we just never stooped to the Falcon punch line.
Get the fuck out of my ship!
I liked putting the filter on this one.
I did not let you come in here.
I like the change right when the cockpit,
the cockpit
like
opens.
holding like opens up.
Yeah.
It actually was a really nice touch.
Diddy Kong commits cultural appropriation.
I don't know what half of Olimar's lines were supposed to be.
Yeah, I don't know what Snozzle was doing with those lines.
But it was funny. Cultural appropriation.
I don't know why this one of the favorite lines, like the one that's up, my line that's upcoming as Falco's for some reason one of my favorite lines I've recorded for this dub.
Yeah.
We are such murderers. I'm proud of us.
It's because I was thinking of like what is it, YTP Sexer, where like Buzz Lightyear lands on the table, and, like lands on the bed. He's like, "Bitch." I wanted to use that joke for some reason.
Oh yeah, originally one of the jokes we were going to have for when they were entering Mecca, which is that little island area there, that little docking bay, was have a little electronic voice saying "Welcome to Mecca," like you're welcome to Disneyland type of voice. but like we didn't really have time for that, so just like literally we just didn't have the time to work on that. But yeah, here's that Kerbo as both ice climbers.
As both ice climbers mostly, because there's this one part like in the part where like everyone's speaking, like in towards that one scene where like Ignis does a voice for Nana, but I think there's a really good joke with like a Children of the Corn-esque. I like the way Kerbo like delivered his like made this sort of concept of like the delightful children down the lane sort of like.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I never really thought of it like that actually until now, if I'm being honest. But I do like the analogy of like, oh yeah, we have Meta Knight and ice climbers going to the top of the mountain, aka the tier list, because they were at the end of Brawl's lifespan were like the best characters in the game, and then just having Lucario there be like, I'm actually really good, guys. I'm like, you got to believe me. It was really funny to me.
I think if
in a meta sense,
I think if it was like any other character except for Meta Knight, I don't think anyone would have made the joke of like ascending to the tier list.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think it was just funny that by coincidence, ice climbers were also going up there.
It was that, and also like the joke about them. There's like our reign will continue into the next game.
No. Yeah, they fall off this cliff here, and for some reason, they're the only ones that fall off the mountain.
I don't think anyone else thought of that. I don't think that was like not an intentional thing. We just like that was like a good coincidence.
It appears Smash 4's arrived early. Oh my god, such a good joke. I love that joke. And then the cutoffs upon cutoffs.
Help me. I like help me. Again, I had to cut those lines off early because they did like cut themselves off, but I just cut them off earlier.
There's a bunch of weird Charlies and a bunch of weird Nintendo characters. You gotta work with them, but I don't want to work with them. Work with them.
And now we have Mike once again as Snake.
I guess it's my time to shine.
He is Mike or Lucario DX Orstorm, as I usually call him on. That's his YouTube name. He does a really good Captain Falcon and Snake voice.
Yeah, it does a really good.
And he does it a lot for his YouTube channel in general. So that's why I was like, hey, Mike, you gotta join this Dubspace thing.
It's a person. I want one of those. How much are you?
I think that's the thing I really enjoyed making for the trailer. Was like, it's this part, but it cuts off at the oh shit, and then like it does like the duh.
Yeah, it plays the song. That was really good.
Oh, no, it's the FBI. Come on, Snake. This is definitely not the main room.
I don't remember this room and being on my sheep.
Wait,
I think there's like I think this is like one of the scenes I have the least things to say about, honestly.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Actually, I do have something to say. It was like, okay, so for people who may or may not be wondering, like, hey, why does Lucario say that? That's kind of sus. Just for the record, when we made this, Vivo, the voice actor of Lucario, he was 15. So it's not like he's not like I know what he said was kind of like weird and like, you know, for not something an adult would say, but he was just keep in mind he was 15.
It was fine at the time.
So, yeah,
it was fine at the time.
Yeah, I don't know if that was a gun or if that was a sword that cut that, but whatever.
I don't know. I just think I was like, okay, think of a chain cutting, and then I just did that without focusing on what weapon it was.
Just stay in the kitchen.
One of my favorite scenes too. Also, just Snake calling them bitches and then backtracking on it.
Nice cosplay. That'll fool him. Oh fuck.
Oh yeah, this was during the midst of the PewDiePie versus T-Series thing, wasn't it?
Oh yeah. Wait,
so that's why Ignis as Sheik did this joke coming up.
I don't think it was in the middle of it. I think it was like towards like I think it was like almost a year afterwards.
Really? I could have sworn it was. I thought it was like right after, or like either in the middle or right after.
Because this is gonna like be a weird way of surmising that claim, but because this came out around a year after I went to my new job, and I know the PewDiePie versus T-Series thing happened when I was at my old job, so it was like at least a year after that.
Oh, okay.
Either that or it was very long running and I just didn't know.
I just know I noticed she still has the wedding ring despite her being technically divorced with Mario in this
Oh,
stuff.
oh yeah. She just thought it looked cool.
She thought it looked cool. It makes sense. Oh, I have some choice words to say about this scene.
Yeah.
So, the game theory joke, each individual Game & Watch says, or sorry, Mr. Game and Theory, they each say a different thing. Like a different game theory. I have the voice lines for every single one of them, and they all say something different.
I thought it was like Pac was like doing one of them alive, and then you just like duplicated it over and over again.
They're all different lines.
Okay,
and then
so
I don't know why we made Duan into Will Smith the genie from Aladdin, the live action movie, but we did.
So Pac just did one of them live, and then.
No, I guess one of them may have been live, but the other ones were added in post, and they were all different lines.
Oh yeah,
that was different. That wasn't actually in Subspace Emissary.
What wasn't?
Care to explain that?
What happened? Like why?
So the Mr. G and W like bumper
doesn't
actually appear.
Yeah, that was never in Dubspace. That was never in Subspace. I was like, I'll just add this.
Yeah. So we added that because it was like, well, every other character gets it. Why doesn't Game & Watch get one? So that's what we did.
It's I was gonna say that the like how it confused me, like the Game & Watch starving African child joke, that it was it wasn't like an original thing. It was by the YouTuber Ludwix.
Oh yeah, yeah, I did hear that. Right, that was from Ludwix.
Yeah, because I was like, I get that reference.
Shall conquer this earth.
Hey, Diddy, hold on. It's like a JoJo reference. I saw one big JoJo
shit.
God, it's the Wii.
Oh no.
Now it's not oh my God.
Oh god, there's the part where I transition into Rob.
Is this the McDonald's ball pit?
Yeah.
And I didn't know what I was doing with my Rob voice. I was replicating like a thing that Vinesauce Vinny does when he just like when like he starts spinning, he just goes spin, and then like and then with Rob,
just the entire time.
Yeah, the entire time. It sort of fell off. Like even like seconds later, I just kind of forgot what I was doing. I'm like
I like I particularly wanted to make the exemplify the Robs going insane, so I sped up the voice lines as they went along, so they were saying going from rib to rib, and just speed it up like that, so it just like kind of accentuate that like feeling of, oh yeah, they're like being possessed by whatever Gandorf's technology is.
This must be the work of the enemy stand.
Figurines.
Fucking weebs.
It's been a while since I've played my last kill.
I don't know why Gandorf makes a bunch of like weird moans whenever he leaves.
Oh.
Not today, fuckers.
I forgot about that. That still makes me laugh. It's the classic Vine. There's like Robo bitch.
Yeah, I had a hard time editing this because someone during the call actually played their soundboard that had, I believe it was the theme of Ultra Instinct for Goku and Dragon Ball Super, and I couldn't remove it for the life of me because it would remove Chris's voice lines. Because he was the one who did the soundboard thing.
Okay, so
I literally couldn't remove it, and I was like, shoot, is this gonna copyright like the video or whatever? But thankfully it didn't, as far as I'm aware.
And a completely unrelated song did.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of funny, but I was like, I wanted to add my own music, if anything, and something that was perfectly not going to, especially with that song being very copyright stricken.
I still find it funny that it wasn't copyrighted by Nintendo, but by Billy Joel's State.
Yeah, yeah. And we only had that for like 5 seconds,
Yeah,
and yet
like
that was
5
what was
seconds.
copyrighted.
It was 5 seconds, and people were talking over it, and yet it wasn't Nintendo. It was Billy Joel.
You know, this reminds me of a specific anime reference. You guys watch JoJo?
No, Mecha! Oh no!
That's-
Mecha!
Honestly, Pac deserves an Oscar for that like performance
line.
because like, he really put his heart and soul into that scream.
Yeah, it was like, it was that, and also like this one just scream as Diddy Kong in the Donkey Kong 2 thing.
Yeah, that too.
This and
That
this one wheeze at the Ace Attorney dub that'll come out in a few days, that where like Oofy's just like says a certain joke and then Peck just fucking loses it.
Yeah, it actually, we didn't hear it in the Discord call. Just a side tangent. When we did that recording, we didn't hear it at all because he was laughing so hard. So when we went back and listened to it, I was like, oh my god. But yeah, I have to. I'm sorry for skipping over that. That was the skippity bop and
Yeah, skippity bop and da.
Such a. It's like, honestly, at this point, it's just like it's like a trademark thing. We did that in Dubspace 2, World of Fuck or whatever, and it just really. It really fits with the newcomer's brand.
Every single like explosion, it's almost like a completely different bit. Like once there's like the bass boosted explosion, there's once like the vine thud. There's the Skibbity Bob and Dada, and there's the Curb Your Enthusiasm theme.
Yeah.
This one was a bitch to edit because there's like very few voice lines for this because there's not much room, but like the sound effects are like a bitch to edit because like I tried
because of all the cannons.
Yeah, because I had to like time it for every single frame that the bullets came out.
Yeah.
Ganondorf, you lousy shot! Oh no! Some more.
I remember having to really nothing against them. It's just that I remember I think we were like towards the end of like doing editing, and I was like, oh shoot, I don't have any lines for Ganondorf for this scene, so I had to track him down and be like, hey, could I get some voice lines for this scene? And it was a bit hard at first to get in contact with him, but I finally got it. The lines for this specific scene where he's like, oh no, yeah, my tower's been destroyed in Raid Shadow Legend. All these lines here in this specific scene were really, initially really hard to get.
Yeah, and it's weird because like, it's sort of like a weird sort of thing where it's like, it was technically like, we have these things where it's like done in post, but it's still improv. Like it's a weird thing.
Oh yeah, it was improv. Oh, and here we go, the loudest scene. Get ready.
Oh yeah, this one. That it is every character, by the way. That's literally every single character.
What is?
Like every single character is speaking. It's not even like we have every person in the voice shop. It's like we had every person playing every character.
Yeah.
It's God. I forgot about It's God. He's here. I think that was like a Slimesicle joke where he was like, "Uh-oh, it's God. He's here."
I'm glad we actually bookended that joke where he's like, where Bowser actually didn't upvote his Kecker Cringe compilation, so he just shoots him.
He just shoots him. It's a character arc.
I think of it as a character arc.
His BDSM kinkery.
I think that was like one of the jokes I would came up with during like a viewing of it, where like, wouldn't it be funny if Taboo was Waluigi?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because he just like, he's so tired of not being in Smash that he just becomes a deity from another dimension.
Yeah, and he assembles all of these Robs, and he also I love the freaking multi-shine.
Yeah, multi-shine, because it looked like it, and it technically deflected him.
He just came dead. Wait, Waluigi? Go back to being an assist trophy. Where do you belong?
I could have put
I remember this particular part being not too difficult, but I remember like thinking, all right, who who speaks in this scene, because I know it's not technically everyone,
but it's like nearly
everyone's supposed to be there, but not everyone is shown like saying something.
Yeah,
so it's just like, select few characters in this instance.
Yeah, it was like a whole thing where it's like, which ones do we do?
Yeah,
and it's like how much silence.
we did the main ones. We did Mario, Link, Yoshi, I think Kirby. I think there might have been like a Diddy Kong or Lucario, Fox, and then that might have been it. I don't know if we did either Princess Peach or Princess Zelda.
Yeah, I think it was just like a bunch, just not all.
Yeah.
I think there's this like one part coming up that I remember being very proud of. But for some reason I can't remember it for some reason.
Mm.
Wow. Ready to go. Wow.
Something about him being like amazed by Reddit gold is just really funny to me.
It somehow feels in character. I don't know why. I don't know how. It just does.
I have seen the visions of the new god. We must kill him to save my golf course.
And then it just comes back to
that. Basically sums up King DDD in a nutshell.
Ironically, that comes back in our Kirby Replicatcha dub.
Yeah.
Where it's actually like a lot more fitting because that's the actual plot of the episode.
Yeah.
Don't wake me up. It's
wake me up
God,
inside.
and then everything is against God. All of you are against God.
You will do as I say. I am your God King.
I should have cut him off. That would have been funnier.
Now apologize.
Reused footage. Like, I'm talking about in Subspace in general. I'm not talking about like this.
Yeah. I don't know why they reused it. It makes you think when you complete the boss fight that you didn't actually do it.
That your disc is scratched.
You see that guy?
Yeah.
He's next.
Let's go.
I like to think that the god that like Bowser worships is just Master Hand.
Yeah.
Which is like he's like that's why he's like really upset. It's like my god is dead.
My god is
or
dead.
something like that. I don't know.
He was a hand the whole time.
He was.
What the fuck? I've been.
We never see a scene with Kirby eating that. We just see him look at it.
Yeah, that's the weird thing. Like even in in vanilla Subspace, like that's what happens. Like he's never there's never a scene where he's like actually shown eating it.
Yeah, and I can't really say. I mean, I'm not particularly proud of this line from Bowser just because I couldn't really think of anything. But admittedly, it did make a couple people in the call laugh like really hard. So I kind of stuck with it just because I wasn't really sure what to say as Bowser. But I get that he was mad at Ganondorf. I just didn't know how to convey that in a funny way.
What the mumbling, like the piece of shit, like.
No. With him saying like, I've seen the light. I know now that he's a Jew. Or something like that.
I was like.
It's like it doesn't really make sense, but it's like whatever. We're at the end of the stuff anyway. Let's just finish this already.
And also like he's delusional.
Yeah. That part plays a part in it too.
Wario's top bitch. No one is better.
I like the line Wario is top bitch.
First, kill God with us. Fine, I guess we'll get all the loot for ourselves.
PK Fire.
Oh.
We never really did address the fact that Ness only says PK Fire.
Yeah, we never.
This entire thing.
We never. The only time we addressed PK Fire was when Captain Falcon was saying it.
And now it's time for Deus Ex Machina.
By the way, have you checked out my new wings? These look pretty cool, huh? God, I hope nothing of significance. Oh my god. Are you serious, dude?
What sound effects did you use for that?
I just like the glass. I just searched up glass shattering sound and then just downloaded one of them. That's what I do for a lot of not Foley, but the generic sound effects. I just look them up on YouTube and just like find the ones most fitting and then download them. Yeah. That's what I did for some of the it's only like a few of the sound effects in the upcoming Ace Attorney dub where I just like, oh, here's a door opening and closing. time to open up TO1P3.
this was also not. This actually wasn't our editing. This was, I believe, Doggy Vivo's editing.
Yeah, I think that was him.
When the full cast is shown.
Yeah,
even though 3 of those characters are not even in Dubspace or Subspace, rather.
Yeah, it's a weird thing.
We were. Oh wait, hold on. There's a line here actually. I think where Mario says something in comment to the Deus Ex Machina.
I can't believe that Blue Rat showed up and took all the credit, as usual. Oh well, maybe next time.
Yeah, and I don't know why I chose the Luigi's Mansion credits theme for this thing. I was like, Nintendo game credits, Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah,
I think it was also because I played Luigi's Mansion.
Yeah. I thought it was kind of fitting. Part of me is just because I really like the song, but besides that, I'm honestly trying to remember what I was talking about right before. There was the sound effects. Yeah, I mean that pretty much covers everything.
I was gonna say that I was gonna say like in regards to this sort of thing, I think we already mentioned it, but like this is this sort of like a lightning in a bottle thing, because we've had like multiple attempts to like do longer dubs in the style of Dubspace, but that like it more or less failed for like because
for various reasons.
Yeah. I still feel like an idiot for I feel like dog shit for misspelling Mike's name as Mike Flygarian as if that was his last name. I felt like such a fucking idiot.
Please give it an upvote.
I don't know where I got the idea of like making like fade out, because nowadays I usually just put like a list on screen. But I think that was like the best thing for our first dub.
Yeah.
Also, the order is actually rather than being like the order of which they appear in the story, it's actually like the order they appeared in the Smash series. I basically just looked up like the Smash Ultimate's like order, like the order of characters like that Smash Ultimate had, and I was like, oh, okay, this is the first one, the second one.
Yeah. But yeah, overall, like you said, this was definitely lightning in a bottle. And I hope in the future we can make more things like this, more fan dubs. I just hope we can learn from the mistakes of what we've made in the past. Because in all honesty, 4 months of practicing, trying to get cast members on board, and then finally trying to edit it in such a, or not just edit it, before that, actually like just getting the voice lines was very hectic.
Yeah.
And in the span of 3 days, we spent like 2 or 3 hours each day in like with nonstop going from group DM to group DM to group DM, trying to get the lines from each person.
Yeah. Across...
And the editing was very much. I mean, granted, I still think the editing was handled pretty well with you and me, like kind of like me doing the syncing and you doing the sound effects.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it worked out pretty all right. But I think we can. I hope we can learn from our mistakes and do better. And yeah.
The special thanks. There's like a special thanks here. That's the it's some of the people that tried to like apply to it or like helped with the project in some way, but weren't part of the actual like voice list or editing or stuff like that.
Mm-hmm. Kind of crazy. David V. Kimball was going to voice Mr. Game & Watch at one point.
Mr. Game & Watch and PD Piranha.
Yeah. But yeah, that's it.
That's it. Well, thank you for 10,000 views. Thank you for 2 years of watching this. Thank you for 150 subscribers. Oh shit. Crisis averted. Anyway. Thank you so much. Sin, do you have any closing words?
Yeah, just look forward to more dubs in the future, because we're not planning on stopping this train anytime soon. We are definitely steadfast in terms of making sure that the next project we make is better than the last one. And we like to have a lot of fun with it. We honestly, the most we ask for you guys is just watch it, comment, like. We're not real, we just that's really all it is, because like we're ultimately doing this for fun. So yeah, and but regardless of that, thank you so much for watching not only this commentary video, but also for supporting the newcomers. We really appreciate it.
Thank you so much. Thanks for watching.